My solar oven has been in the sun for 15 minutes and it's already at 300 degrees. These are great. Do you believe anything the government tells you? I don't. I've caught them in too many lies. All the way from Timothy Osmond and his turban coat mafia attacking us on 9/11 to the weapons of mass destruction that are supposed to be in Iraq, and they still haven't found any. See, guys, when they tell you about things like BP and it's going to be several months before it equates to the Exxon Valdez disaster, and then overnight it's twice as bad as the Exxon Valdez disaster, we don't know how bad it's going to get in the Gulf. It could get 5 times as bad overnight, and the news media would just give us their typical crappy propaganda to explain why it's so bad. And people would accept it just because, you know what? They're suckers. They believe anything the TV tells them. So when the government also tells you that we're in an economic recovery, and then you have a news article like I have down here in my information box talking about the worst S&P 500 since May of 1940, you can't believe that we're in a recovery. It's impossible. These guys are great at lying. They're deceiving the entire nation through propaganda. People are buying into it. They're keeping all their money in their big retirement accounts, thinking it's going to be worth something someday, as the bankers are fleecing it dry, and so is the government, who basically intermingle with the banks and go in and out of all these corporations. There's a great site called theyrule.net down in my information box. You'll see what I mean. It's an amazing site. But anyway, today I have a great gadget I want to show you. It's not the newest technology, but it'd be a great way to communicate during the economic collapse. It's called a Citizens Band Radio, otherwise known as a CB radio. There's 40 channels on this thing, and you can communicate with many people on DC current from your vehicle. And you could arrange all types of barters or hear about any type of roadblocks or any situation like that through a CB radio. Any type of entity who would wish to jam a CB radio is going to have a major undertaking. These are on AM, and that basically means that you need at least a 1 kilowatt transmitter sitting in the middle of a city on every single 40 channels on one of these radios to deaden the signal. And if somebody is close enough, just a couple streets over, you could actually overpower a 1 kilowatt amplifier. So a CB radio has a lot of versatility, and you can use it if you have some land and people on your land to basically call them rather than using a cell phone, because cell phones very well may be shut down. Very hard to jam, very hard to take out of the hands of people. There's many of them around, and they don't have any type of technology that'll give any type of institution your GPS locations like our cellular phones. So basically, I'd recommend you put it in your economic collapse preparations. You'll be able to communicate with truckers, people in their vehicles, and you'll be able to stay in tune with the news on one of these things. Also, nice thing about CBs, if you're into modding, you can switch some of the frequency crystals in them and create negative channels. I know people who have actually flipped frequency crystals backwards, soldered them back into the breadboards in these things, and basically create their own private channel. Yeah, the FCC basically frowns on it, but if you want to have it between you and some of your friends or families, you could have basically your own private channel within a CB radio. I just personally think it'd make a great addition, and for the people who have been telling me on my technology videos that the government could just EMP us all and take out all of our technology, personally, I think that's a little bit too much TV. Sure, it's possible. Yeah, it could happen, but remember, in any EMP type situation, it shuts down everything, including them. So why on earth would they want to do something like that? I don't think that they're going to do anything like that. All their cameras and street cameras and anything that's jamming frequencies or any type of scanning equipment, any type of law enforcement, military, everything would go down within that area. So I just don't see that they're going to do any type of EMP on us. But anyway, just to conclude, great idea to buy a CB radio. They're pretty cheap. You can get them on eBay or garage sales for next to nothing. You'll stay in touch. I guess you could get a good base station antenna and a good radio going for under $200. If you just wanted something simple in your car, it'd probably be about $125.